Let's talk about fueling. And it may be for an athletic event, it may be for a hike that you're going on, but let's talk about fueling in the days leading up to that event and the day of the event. The name of the game when we're fueling for an event of some sort is maintenance of blood sugar. So the idea is that we want to maintain that blood sugar level for as long as possible so we don't start to feel bad. In the days leading up to the event, you should keep your nutrition pretty much the same as it always is. Don't make any big changes, but just slightly higher in carbohydrates. So normally we might have half a plate of veggies, 25% of the plate protein, 25% of the carbohydrates. We might just up that carbohydrate portion just a little bit, but it doesn't need to be in excess. We want to make sure that our training is smart leading up to the event. So we want to rest or be a little bit more, allow a little bit more rest in the days leading up to the event. Steady hydration with water and also electrolytes. And then your gut matters. And that's why we don't want to change the nutrition too much as we're leading up to the event. Then we've got the day of the event. About 3 hours before the event, we want to have a healthy breakfast that leans a little bit towards the carb side of things. So things like fruit, amazing carbohydrates. You may add some protein in it, but it's about 3 hours before the event. We don't want a whole lot of fiber. We don't want a whole lot of fat. Then within 30 to 90 minutes before the activity, we can continue with some fruit if you want, not necessary, but it can be fruit. It can be simple carbohydrates. It could be fruits. And we also continue our hydration. And then right before the event, we maintain our hydration. Once we start our event, if that event is less than, say, 2 hours, there's really not a whole lot of need for fueling during the event, especially if you've done some good, healthy nutrition leading up to the event. But if we're going to go longer durations, 2, 3, 4, and way beyond 8, 9, 12, 24 hours, then a fueling strategy during the event is going to be pretty imperative. We want to make sure that we're eating plenty of carbohydrates, ideally about 240 calories an hour of carbohydrates, but we want to have plenty of hydration along with that. That fueling strategy, again, is primarily carbohydrates with some hydration. And then if you're doing something that's low intensity, like hiking, then you could add in a little bit of protein along the way and do that. But nothing, for the most part, changes. Simple nutrition on the way up to the, leading up to the event with a little bit more carbohydrates. Carbohydrates well before the event, in the morning of, maybe 3 hours before the event, and then simple carbohydrates during the event. If you're doing a multi-event day, then we want to strategize that nutrition in between those events, something that's going to really replenish us quickly. If you've got a very short amount of time, we're going to stick with the simple carbohydrates. Again, fruits are an awesome source of those carbohydrates and hydration. If we've got a little bit more time, then we can have a little bit more real food. But we want to remember gut health is important. We want to not compromise our digestion, and that means limiting, at least in the short term, high fat, high fiber foods.